We're gonna end off with one last video. The slow death of the internet.
My husband cheated on me, so I let his entire family watch.
It's time for your GIAT exam.
Good with the band, smile with the sand.
I'm 21.
Some bread for some head?
This is a medieval toilet. The feces would directly fall.
Oh, by the way, I invited Peter and Jenny Leopard over for dinner next week.
The internet is a lot different these days than it used to be. I was actually talking to some friends.
It's a lot more Adult Swim. It all feels kind of like an Adult Swim sketch.
Last night about the internet now and what streaming and what YouTube is like now versus...
Bro, just pick his nose. I just saw that, like right there in the first 30 seconds of the video.
When I started, which was 2012. And a lot has changed. And so today, I kind of want to talk about that. Not necessarily about YouTube or Twitch and streaming in general, but about the internet in general. Is it dead? Is it dying? Is it already 6 feet under? So I was born in 1996, October 24th. Happy birthday to me. I'm 28 now. I'm the same age that my dad was when I was born. It's so awesome. I was born in 1996, which is 13 years after the invention of the internet. So I grew up with the internet. I never really knew a time without the internet.
Me and bro are literally the same age. I didn't know that. I've been watching this guy for years off and on.
I don't really have a first memory of the internet per se, but I have a lot of old memories of playing games on the family computer back when it was like the family computer. You know, now like everybody has smartphones and everybody has a laptop. I mean, not everybody, obviously. I grew up in a time where there was the family computer and you go on the computer, and then when you're off the computer, you don't have access to the internet like we do now on our phones. So a lot of my early memories of the internet and computers is just playing games. Probably, now that I think about it, my first memories of the internet, like actually of the internet, are probably addictinggames.com, because that's all I used the internet for, was to...
Bro, like, we had the same childhood, except for I had newgrounds.com. Because I lived with my grandparents. They didn't really pay much attention, so I'd get on these games. All they knew was like, oh, there's games on this website, he's playing games. But when he's not looking, I was playing some different games, like dress-up simulators.
To play games when I was a kid. I wasn't searching anything until I found out about boobs. Hell yeah, baby. I would search on Google and I'd say, picture of boob, no clothes. Sick. And then in 5th grade, my best friend showed me porn, and I snitched. I felt really bad, and I told my parents, and then he got in big trouble, and then yeah, that was rough for me. I shouldn't have done that. That was shitty. I'm sorry.
Big thank you to Helix Mattresses for being the sponsor of today's video. In today's world,
Helix Mattress, that's a long ad.
Then in 2006, 2005, 2006, whenever it was, Justin, pop it up on screen, YouTube was created, and YouTube became the main thing that I went on the internet for. And I think a lot of kids at that time went on the internet for YouTube. You would just watch funny videos. That's what you would do in your time. And then you guys know the rest of the story. I started making videos, blah, blah, blah. I'm here now. But now, 12 years later, after creating my YouTube channel, I look back on kind of like the glory days of the internet, and it's kind of sad looking.
12 years ago, man, I started a YouTube channel 12 years ago. I probably should have stuck with it and kept doing it like I'm doing this channel now. I started now at 28. Well, I wasn't 28 when I started. I was a year younger than that.
Back, because I really don't like where the internet is today. Not only like the platforms and stuff, but the internet feels like a shitty place to be now. It doesn't feel as positive, and it doesn't feel as creative as it used to be. It just doesn't.
He's in the wrong places. Everybody always complains about this, but you're in the wrong places. You're in the open internet trying to look at everything and try to understand everything. You need to go to the small spaces where bots can't get to, and even if they can get to there, you know where they are. You know who are the bots, because you're not communicating with a real person, and you can tell. Like, you need to get out of the openness if you're trying to look at everything. It's not gonna work. It's too much. Then your brain just focuses on the things that your brain wants to focus on, which is usually not good, because everybody's figured out how to manipulate our brains into watching stuff.
It doesn't feel as fun. It feels like that picture of the war veteran. That's what it feels like going on the internet these days. And I personally think that it feels this way for 3 main reasons. One is just the absolute drivel that is on platforms these days, like the clips from the TikToks at the beginning of the video. 2 is the insane amount of bots and AI. 3 is just the insane amount of negativity. Everybody's all
How about the insane amount of reaction channels like mine? Just reusing content, which I don't actually think that. I think it's good to have people reacting and commentating on videos in real time.
always at each other's throats. And I'm adding in a 4th, which is just ads, which that one's a little bit more complicated. We'll get to that in a bit, but those are the 4 big things that I think are making the internet terrible and a place that I don't really want to be on anymore. I think that a lot of people have this now, where you have this idea in your head of like, someday I want to be out in a farm and disconnected from the world and unplugged from the internet. Oh, how great that would be. And I too someday want to do that, just completely unplug from the internet. I don't want to be on here anymore. But I feel like the internet and our devices, and I feel extremely differently. I think it's a tool that we need to push ourselves into the future. We gotta go to Mars, man. We gotta go past the asteroid belt even. We need to go all the way to Pluto and beyond. So old saying this, but I feel as though our phones and the internet are kind of just draining us dry. We've all heard of the term,
if you're using it incorrectly, yes, but that's your fault.
Doom scrolling, when you're just on your phone and you are just scrolling endlessly.
Don't do that.
And hours and hours, and time just passes. Time just passes and you're not doing anything. You're just sitting there on your phone. I want everybody to take out their phone, and I want you to post in the comments what your screen time is. Everybody let me know what your
I can't do that.
Time is. How do I find?
Because I don't actually look at my phone most of the time. It's usually just playing background noise over there at the other end of the desk while I'm at my desk doing work. So I'm not actually doom scrolling. And when I'm on X posting, it's part of my job too.
Find my screen time. So my screen time doesn't actually seem that bad, which makes me upset because it's still a high number. So my screen time is 5 hours and 7 minutes. I'm on my phone for 5 hours a day. Huh? And I think that is probably around the average. I mean, again, I do use the internet for my job, so maybe it's a little bit above average, but I feel like people are just constantly on their phones all the time, and it's really bad. It's really bad.
I don't think it's that bad. Everybody always says, I think it depends on the content that you're consuming.
Because the stuff that we're ingesting is bullshit,
yeah,
dude. Even my stuff, it's not enlightening content that I'm giving you. I'm giving you fun stuff, and you know, it's entertainment. But there's so much on the internet that right now that I'm just gonna speak from the heart and be honest. I think that a lot of what is currently popular is just not good, and it's not like productive for society. I think that short form content is also rotting our brains at a much faster rate than older entertainment on the internet, as far as YouTube videos and stuff, because it
wrong again. Gonna disagree again. Short form content is great. It's just the scrolling short form content that is not good, at least when it's like slop short form content, if you just allow anything on your platform. But I think it still should be allowed. Just stop consuming it.
At least, you know, when YouTube started, the videos were a few minutes long, and then people started making longer things and longer things and longer things. But now with Instagram Reels and TikToks and shit like that, it's just short form stuff that is just, it's nothing. It is nothing, and we are just rotting our brains with it. And I'm not the only one that's thinking this way. Back earlier this year, maybe it was last year, I don't remember, there was that threat of TikTok being deleted from the US App Store, and I was on the side.
Well, this isn't age well, because I'm thinking it's probably about to get sold off or banned. I think it held up. That has to happen now.
Side of go for it. Like, I was kind of secretly hoping that TikTok would get deleted from the App Store just so I wouldn't go on it anymore. And when Elon bought Twitter, I was hoping the same thing, that he would just run the platform into the ground, which he has, but that the application would just get...
I disagree. I disagree so much. I think X is better than Twitter ever was, and it's only getting better, and they're adding so much, and I use it all the time for different things. Like, it's very useful for things.
Deleted, and I'm kind of hoping this for a lot of social media. Secretly inside, I'm like, I just don't want this anymore, and I think that a lot of people feel the same way. I'll even do a poll right now, and we'll see what people say. And it's not just my Twitter audience that has this same view of the internet. My friend Vernon shared this with me the other day. The Harrisburg...
How you basing that on, oh, my Twitter audience wants to, when it was like 56%? It looked like barely over the half.
Did a survey of just over 1,000 Gen Z adults from ages 18 to 27, asking about their beliefs regarding the impact of social media and smartphones. And with that report, nearly half of those people wish that TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter were never invented. And then branching off of that, a smaller percentage, 15%, wish that YouTube was never invented, 17% wish Netflix was never invented, and 17% wish the internet itself was never invented. So it's...
I'm glad they all got invented. They changed life to be more suitable for me. I like being able to get all of these things. I like movies and TV shows, and I like that I am not running out of them. Yeah, we're getting a lot of bad stuff recently, but my back catalog is so long.
It's not an abnormal thing now, having that belief of, yeah, I kind of wish, like, this thing wasn't around anymore, because I think all of us are noticing the harmful impacts that it has on our lives and our mental health, especially. Being somebody who has been a creator on the internet for a long time, I've always felt this pressure of, okay, I need to be posting, I need to be sharing things, I need to be uploading to YouTube and making Instagram posts and making Twitter posts and blah, 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 because it's part of my job. But that's just the case for everybody now. Everybody feels the need to be doing that constantly, all the time. We all, for some reason, feel this pressure to constantly be showing people what we're doing and the successes that we're having and the fun things that we're doing. It's kind of like FOMO, like the fear of missing out, but in a weird way of like the fear of other people missing out on the thing that I'm doing because I want them to accept me and validate me all the time. We're just constantly looking for validation from other people, and it's really, really, really...
You are. I don't know about, like, the other half, and a lot of people that I know, they're not looking for validation. They're just, you know, on their posting, shit posting. That's what I'm doing too. I'm mostly shit posting. People trying to argue with me on there all the time, and I'm like, bro, it is not good to argue with me, because I'm just, it's like arguing with a bot, because I'm just gonna meme on you the whole time.
Really unhealthy, especially when social media is as negative as it is. There's so much...
I guess I'm part of the problem, because I'm pretty negative on the internet.
On the internet across the board. But going off of what I just said about people feeling the need to post things all the time, I think it's created just a well of vapid content. Again, harkening back to the TikToks that I showed you at the beginning of this, and this is no hate to people posting these TikToks or anything like that, but so much stuff on Instagram Reels and TikTok and YouTube Shorts, it's all just mindless content. Like, there's nothing there. It feels like all it is just this bullshit. I don't even know how to articulate it better. It's all just bullshit. It's just people going to Costco and being like, oh, this fucking sandwich is, it's doom.
Oh, we got some good Doritos. Doritos got a new flavor, we gotta try it. And Mountain Dew's got a new flavor, gotta try that too.
Talk to us, spit on that thing. Ooh, it just, this is gonna sound so weird. It feels like the internet just has no actual, like, culture around it anymore. It's all just fucking dumb.
Oh, it does. It does. You just hate it. You just hate all of the meme The internet has been taken over by memes is what's happened. Memes and bots and memes, and like little spaces where people can hang out. You just got to find the spaces where people can hang out. The rest of it's just bots and memes.
Memes that aren't even funny and don't even really mean anything. I don't know if I'm out of pocket for saying that, but it just feels like there's nothing actually happening on the internet anymore. And going into this next segment, we're going to talk about why.
That's because you're not doing anything. You're not actually trying to do anything on the internet other than fill your brain with slop.
It feels like there's nothing happening on the internet anymore. And the reason is because it feels like there's less genuine interaction on the internet than it used to be. And I'm not talking about just for me, and you can make the jokes of like, oh, your channel's dying, blah, blah, blah. That's why you feel like you're having less natural interactions. It's across the board. There are a much higher percentage of bots and AI accounts than there used to be. You used to post a video or a post or whatever, and you knew that all of the responses that
You know what I've got to say about it? That it's taken over the space that everybody used to be in, and everyone is moving to new spaces, and you're still stuck in the old space, and he doesn't know anything, and these people don't know anything about these new spaces. Because I get interaction all the time in my spaces, not MySpace, but like X and Discord and even YouTube, Rumble. I mean, I get tons of interaction, tons of great interaction. And then even people that hate on me, like, stop being like, oh, that hurt my feelings, I gotta delete that, or delete them outright and stop looking at the ones that are puffing you up. Like, man, yeah, that feels good. No, you gotta shit post to the world. Don't let any of the comments affect you, because they're not real.
that you were getting were from actual people. Even if they were shitheads, it's actual people responding to your stuff. Now, it's way harder to tell if the people who are interacting with your content are actual people or not, or if it's just bots. We've seen
Doesn't matter to me. The people that I actually interact with on a daily basis are real, because I know a lot of them. They have their own shows, their own small little YouTube channels. I think he's just interacting with the wrong types of people, trying to interact with random ass people all the time with like heartfelt conversation. It ain't gonna work. That's not really what the internet's for, and it's never really been like that. I don't know where these people have been.
jokes about it on Twitter as well, of people making fun of their comment sections because bots are interacting with each other and fighting each other. Even in the comments of this video, there's probably
I think that shit's entertaining.
a couple of bot accounts. Maybe not, because it's my second channel. I don't know. There's bot comments on my main channel videos all the time where they will take a genuine comment that somebody has said and just copy and paste it from an account that has a girl with a bikini, and they want you to click the link on their YouTube or whatever. And so it's starting to feel like the internet is more of a shell of itself now, because we're interacting with less people and there's less life to it. And this feeling actually has a name. It's a theory. It's called the dead internet theory. At the beginning of this year, Forbes put out this article about the dead internet theory. I'll link it
I think it's bunch crap. I already watched a video on it.
in the description below. It's very, very interesting. But it talks about this theory that the internet kind of peaked in 2016. That was the peak of real users before generative AI became more commonly and easily used. And it's gotten to this point now in 2024 where not only
You ever seen a virus model? You ever seen the model of a virus or a coronavirus, how it's got that ball and it looking thing, and it's got the antennas poking out everywhere? Well, imagine the internet being kind of like that, where we are the antennas and we are the ends of the antennas. I don't know what to call it. That's what I'm calling it for this example. And the internet is that ball in the middle. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to interact with people inside the ball. But the ball is just an entertainment machine. That's all it is. Nothing there. There's nothing for you there unless you want to be entertained. If you try to seek anything else out there, you're not going to get it. Where you're going to get that is the antennas that are sticking out. It's got just these little groups, but you got to find your way into them, and a lot of them are invite only.
only are we getting replies from bots all the time, but there's bots and AI that are actually making content. There's AI influencers now. There's a bunch of stuff on TikTok and Reels that's all just AI generated stuff, just trying to get as much traffic as possible. And it feels like the internet and content creation is just kind of turning into this weird factory where stuff is just being pumped out to the masses because everyone knows that we're just constantly scrolling on our phones, and we're going to scroll through this stuff and just get stuck in this loop on our phones. And with this whole dead internet theory, this cybersecurity account Imperva did a
That's why you gotta latch on to people and like have yourself a little community. This guy keeps everybody say he just doesn't have a real community. These people that like want to have communities built around them, but they don't want to be involved with it. They just want to be over there and they want to sit in their bedrooms and eat their Doritos and scroll scroll on their phone. And that's what he literally said he was. So like, why you're complaining about something that you're complaining about eating garbage food basically, and then saying that all food is garbage.
A research report in they do it every year I think, but the 2024 Imperva research report revealed that almost 50% of internet traffic comes from non-human sources. So it's coming from bots. Almost half of the stuff that we're ingesting on the internet could not be from an actual person now, which is so weird. AI really scares me a lot, and I think that there are good use cases for it. There's a lot of stuff about it that I think is really bad. Like, I think that using AI creatively goes against my morals. Like, creativity stuff I think people should be doing. We shouldn't be promoting art that is made by AI, especially when it's pulling sources from other people's stuff. I think that AI should not be a thing that creates things wholly. I think that it should be used as a tool to make things easier or quicken a process of something. You know, I think
I don't care. If it's making good content, it's making good content.
it's useful for things like customer service. If you just want a quick thing, an AI bot can help you find the answer quickly with stuff like in Photoshop. It is nice being able to, you know, you want to paint this thing out or get this thing out of an image. AI can just take it out rather than you going in and doing it yourself. Stuff like that is a nice feature to have. It's a nice tool, but when things are being wholly created by AI, that's a thing that is that's very troubling to me.
Be better than the AI? Because I don't think AI is gonna actually ever be better than humans at their best. They're gonna be better than mediocre humans, or humans that are performing at a mediocre level.
And so seeing this, that almost 50% of internet traffic is coming from non-human sources, it's really scary in many ways, but also as a creator, it's very scary because, you know, you're always trying to grow your channel and grow your content. And now it's getting to a point where it's like, how do I improve and grow and succeed when I am no longer only trying to cater to my audience, I'm also trying to cater to the algorithm and like this sea of traffic that is not actually real. I now have to
Yeah, you're too worried about money, I think. That's what it is. You've got everything wrapped up in money. And if you lose money, then you lose everything.
compete with AI influencers, and I have to compete with these like bot TikTok accounts that are just spewing out AI Reddit shit. It's just kind of disturbing, and it's very demotivating thinking like, oh, okay, well, now I have to, you know, try and compete with the rest of the
Yeah, don't have your business be the online stuff. Use the online stuff to build businesses that aren't online. That's all I gotta say.
traffic on the internet that is not actual people. And when it even is from people, again, there's so much negativity. It feels like everything right now is drama based. The stuff that's really flourishing, I mean, people have always been glued to hot goss, but you know, everything is drama based. Everything is about the headline of, oh, this kick streamer did this thing, blah, 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 blah. It feels like people are trying to get in trouble now for clicks. Some of the things that I see, I tweeted about it the other day. It does
Definitely on social media, people are tweeting out these ridiculous raunchy stuff to get clicks from the other side. Hate bait is what it's called, really. Rage bait, whatever you want to call it.
doesn't seem real. Like this thing that was trending, Aiden Ross versus Gucci third leg condom NFT controversy. What the fuck are you talking about? What is this? Me talking about drivel on the internet, also me tweeting poop retweet. So I am really worried about this sort of short form takeover of the internet. I miss when people were making things for genuine reasons, making things for fun rather than making things to try and get more numbers. I was even talking to my manager about this the other day. We were talking about how it's good to be posting shorts. It's good for growth on channels. It's good to get people to subscribe because a lot of people are on YouTube watching shorts right now. And it just kind of sucks because I don't really want to. I don't have any desire to do that, but it is the truth. That is how people are growing a lot.
I like making shorts. I like that I have shorts being posted because I myself like to consume that short form content sometimes. I don't sit there and do it for hours every day, but like every few days, you know, I might go through it for 30 minutes. Might find some funny videos that I can use for memes.
A lot right now, and it's not that I have a disdain towards short form content inherently. It's just that a lot of the short form content feels like bullshit a little bit. I don't know. I might be wrong, but that's just kind of the way that
A lot of it is bullshit. Some people like bullshit. You aren't gonna like the same things that I like, for one. And another, there is just a lot of slop because people don't know what people like. Bots don't know what people like, really. It's gonna get to the point where they do know what people like, and it's starting to get to that point. It's gonna be crazy, man.
I feel about it. So there was a lot of stuff in this video, and I don't even know if I came to like an actual conclusion. I just kind of wanted to talk about this. But to end this video, I think there's this thought of like, okay, the internet is in a really weird place right now. It's in kind of a really shitty place, and can we revive it? And I think in a way we could. Like, I think that more and more people are seeing how bad the internet is and are wanting out, not necessarily of the internet, but of different platforms. Like, I've seen a lot of people recently transitioning from Twitter to Blue Sky because they're like, I just don't want to be in this hellhole that Twitter is anymore. And I think that more people are starting to drift back into more homegrown content, if you will, on YouTube. I think people are getting sick of the kind of overproduced, over exaggerated, like Mr. Beastie kind of videos, and people are starting to shift back over. The pendulum is starting to come the other way a little bit, I think, and I would really like to see it swing back to people just making fun content to make fun content, and it's not people just making bullshit that they know that people will click on. This whole video was probably a little bit of a clusterfuck, but let me know your thoughts down below on what you think about the internet currently. Let me know what you think about social media. Let me know what your screen time is. Thank you guys so much for watching.
I think the internet is stuck in the wild, wild west days, and I'm kind of a fan. I like the wild, wild west. I mean, definitely some work needs to be done, but just sitting around bitching about it and acting depressed about it and being like, I'm just gonna be done with it, I don't think that's the way to go. I think we need to actively build and be optimistic for the future.